guys, welcome back to another episode right here on the KICKABoUT podcast. It's been a few weeks, and to be very frank, we've missed you all. And more than you guys have actually missed football because these fucking international breaks keep coming over and over again. But it's all done now. There's no international breaks till March, so that's good 4, 5, maybe probably even 6 months of just proper club football. And we couldn't be more excited to be back. And what did you guys made of the opening weekend back again?
My FPL is back on track.
Same here. Catching up to Ishan now.
Ishtan, who did you captain FPL?
I captained Jack Grealish after an amazing international break. Played
And
3
how many
games.
points did he get you?
Till the 89th minute, he had given me 4. By the end of the game, he gave me only 2.
Got a yellow card in the 90th minute.
Worse yet, I had Brighton's right back, Lamptey, in my team, and he got a red card in the 91st minute. The stars have aligned.
You'll have to see it.
But yeah, what are you saying?
Nah, it's an interesting game week. There's some big surprises. I think we know what surprise we're talking about. Yeah,
I mean, City versus Tottenham. 2 shots on goal, 2 goals. What do you make of that, Ishan?
It do be like that sometimes, but I think probably the marquee fixture, if I'm not wrong. I mean, there were a few killer fixtures apart from that, but it was a pretty good fixture, to be honest. And I think it did not. I mean, I'm kind of gutted looking at that fixture, but it ended 2-0. Spurs with 29% possession, with 2 shots on target. You'll have to see these things. But I want to know from you guys. Spurs are on top of the table now, be it on goal difference. So do you think they're challenging for the title this year?
We had to wait for Spurs to face a top 6 team. I mean, they faced United, but we got smacked. But we saw them beating Man City. So if you beat Man City 2-0, I think you should be considered title challengers.
Yeah, but then Spurs don't exactly have the best history when it comes to keeping up with injuries. So I don't know. I pray that Son and Kane last this season and nothing bad happens, because I think if either of one of them collapse or fall to injuries, the team is probably going to struggle. But they're flying at the moment with those two in supreme form.
Yeah.
I don't know. Kane has turned into a Lionel Messi, dropping into midfield.
He can play centre back,
passes,
midfield, striker. He's doing everything for that team.
I mean, it's as Dave said yesterday, a 28-year-old. He's 28, if I'm correct.
Yeah, he's going to turn 28.
A 28-year-old world-class striker. I will call him world-class, and he still hasn't won a trophy. That's really sad to see, and I hope.
Are you mad? He's won the Audi Cup. Is there any more procedure?
Audi Cup.
Trophies and trophies don't count.
But dude, I think he's one of those players that you want to see him win something, because he is. I think if you have seen the documentary as well, Mourinho says he's a natural leader. He's so useful to that team, man. I think Spurs this season they might finally get some silverware for that empty cabinet of theirs. So.
Right, boys, but for all the parking the bus praise we're giving Jose Mourinho, I mean, I've seen pundits call it masterclass. I was like, there's no fucking masterclass. It's 8 center backs, 2 shots on target, 2 goals. But nevertheless, if you win, you get the praise. If you lose, you don't. That's just the way life is. And I think there's a bigger issue to address here, which is Man City's lack of goals. So that's 9 games done and 10 goals. To associate this team with a lack of goals is unthinkable as shit, because over the last 2 seasons they've got 106 goals, 104 goals respectively, and now they seem to be playing like Burnley, just lack of goals, dry as fuck all over. Now I want to know from you guys, what do you mainly put down the lack of goals to, and do you think they're going to turn a corner soon?
I don't know. It's as I said, man. See, I think the only proper real goal scorer your team has is Aguero. I know Jesus is a striker, but I don't know. I don't think his finishing in front of goal is evident of what do you say? It's at the level of what Aguero could put up. So yeah, and KDB can score goals, but he's more of a playmaker. Raheem Sterling can't shoot for shit. Riyad Mahrez is Algerian fraud. Ferran Torres is scoring the goals, but he's still young, so he's not going to do it at a very consistent rate as of now. So yeah, that's just my take. What about you, Dave?
I mean, one thing is that De Bruyne has been piss poor this season. Like he
Actually,
has
I
to reach
wouldn't
the
have
levels of
mentioned that.
midfielders like Bruno Fernandes this season.
Okay,
And
okay. I mean, no. It's a fair point. Fernandez.
he
But yeah, go ahead.
he hasn't been able to make proper passes. You know, when you see De Bruyne, you feel like he's going to make a world class pass. The team's going to score 5 goals a match, and you haven't seen that in Man City this whole season.
No, I think it's just that teams have. I think it's what we said like a few episodes back. It's Guardiola's tactics are so. What do you say? They're so. It's like
Predictable.
a middle school player will be able to understand what his tactics are. Like it's so obvious. I think I don't know what is it. When you need him to think, analyze more, he doesn't seem to do it. So I think,
I,
and this
I
is also
genuinely
coming
feel
right
like
after
there's
he's.
a
This
yeah,
is
yeah.
coming right after he signs a new contract with the club. So
Uh, the
I
stars
mean,
of aligned.
he has to change it up. I mean, his style it's becoming way too predictable. That's what it is.
And I hear you on that. I think of voiced my opinion on how I thought that he shouldn't have been given a new contract. But speaking about the problems this season in particular, I think there's a larger issue at play, and that is the midfield. So when you associate Guardiola's way of playing, there's always people who can control the tempo in the midfield, be it Xavi or even David Silva when he was here. Even when he didn't have the best of seasons, there were still times when he could keep the ball long enough to attract attention towards him, and that freed up space for players like Sterling and KDB, who could then make those sort of passes. But now that say KDB is the main man, he gets marked out of the game practically every game, and when you're defending so deep, you really need somebody with a lot of strength, a lot of guile, a lot of agility to make the difference. Because Guardiola's way of playing is it's too predictable. Players like Bernardo Silva, Riyad Mahrez, it's too slow for my liking. It's, I mean, if you play fast, people don't know how to react. But here, these dudes run a bit, cut inside, run a little more. When there's a shot, they'll square it up for somebody who'll again square it. It's fucking annoying to watch, man. It's hard as shit to watch. And I feel like this is down to Guardiola now. So this is a pretty piss poor start to the season, and I feel like if it continues this way, the objective for the season is going to be a top four finish, leave alone the title. I think we're going to need to recalibrate those expectations. But I'm willing to give Guardiola say the next 2-3 weeks, because I know that we've had a relatively harder start to the season. We face Liverpool, Arsenal, and Spurs, and United in the next 3 weeks as well. So that's probably like 4 out of the top 6. But let's see for the next 2-3 weeks. If the attacking issue isn't resolved, then I'm gonna be searching for Nagelsmann's phone number on the internet. But that is about it. Uh,
I think
the-
what else? What something I want to talk about? What is it? Ah, yes, Mister the Spurs defense. What do you think has caused a sudden resurgence of this team's defense?
Okay,
I
what, two
think
clean sheets
yesterday,
now?
yeah, they
two
were
Yeah.
really solid.
consecutive clean sheets.
I don't know what it was. Their slide tackles that match were on fucking
Yeah.
point.
The tackles
It was
They
also.
defended damn well, no
ridiculous.
doubt.
Dude, I don't know what drugs were they on, man. Mad tackles they put in. And they won majority of them. They were crazy good tackles.
I think you associate that with all the great Mourinho teams. They defend for their lives, then they hit on the break. The great Inter Milan. That's how Porto won the Champions League. People don't want to hear it, but I mean, if he wins the titles, you got to give him praise. But this is the way he wins it. There's no looking away from them. And I
Yeah.
feel like Mourinho is on song to win a title this year. He's doing everything that he normally does during a title winning season. Speaks shit in the media, gets inside players' head. Even he turned up to the stadium saying his team weren't as fit as Sterling, and Sterling played the last 10 minutes. That's about it. I feel like this is
Yeah,
classic Mourinho
I was very surprised. Why didn't Sterling start?
He
because he's
What
wasn't
was the
injured.
reason?
injured. He was injured. Yeah.
But I don't know.
But the thing with
Was it
Spurs is
what was the injury exactly? Was it a
I don't
severe
really
or?
know. I think the groin or something like that. He didn't even play for England in those 3 games. But one person I did expect to start was Phil Foden, and
Yeah.
before defenders can pocket
Yeah,
him,
that
Pep
was.
Guardiola pockets him. He doesn't even allow them to play. I think it's if he doesn't change that in the forthcoming matches, then I feel like I don't know, but Pep needs to go back to Barcelona. They're in more need after being
Oh
mid-table.
God,
But
God, another frustrating week. But for another episode, not now.
catch his rant in the midweek episode. Uh, let's move on. There were a few other pretty killer Premier League worthy fixtures. Which one of them last night? Liverpool taking Leicester on at home. Pretty injury ravaged side, but they're winning 3-0 on the day. Jamie Vardy had been sent back to wherever Fleetwood Town or wherever the fuck he came from. You couldn't even spot him. There, I want to ask you big injuries. Their defenders from something of a "you will never walk alone" to "you'll never walk again" season. But it's 3-0 on the night. That's as clean as it gets. What do you make of the game last night?
This game just shows how good Liverpool's squad depth is. With two of their senior
Mad
centre
squad.
backs injured, they had Matip and Fabinho playing there, and no youngster. They had Milner and Robertson. This just
James Milner.
shows how good that team is. And winning 3-0 against Leicester is not an easy job. Because as Man City faced Leicester, they lost a fight.
Dude,
We lost by
on the
3
night.
goals. Liverpool won by 3
Won by
goals. There's
3
levels to
goals.
this.
Yeah.
the Diego
Their
Jota,
attack is
man.
just too strong. Mane and Jota. I mean, I never liked Firmino. I still don't like him. But
I
Mane
mean, he
and
did
Jota
score
were
on the night.
phenomenal. He had
Firmino
two
did
good
score.
chances. One goal
Yeah.
line clearance, very close to a goal. Like I don't know how has he scuffed that one
No,
chance, but his
I'm telling
header was good.
you, once when Jota scored that goal and Firmino hugged him, Firmino was just hugging his replacement. Man. It's as simple as that.
I
Diego
want to see
Jota is
what
too good,
Klopp
dude.
does when Salah is back, because that four up front isn't a thing which can work out.
No, definitely not. One of them has to go.
Yeah.
Definitely, but I feel like when Liverpool scored that second goal yesterday, I went to sleep because there's really no point of watching when Liverpool have scored a goal,
Come,
fullback, forward,
all,
and direct header.
all three goals were headers. Johnny Evans header.
That goal was
Johnny
really
Evans,
funny.
dude,
He
he
had
was
no
so
clue what was going
confused
on.
when that went in. He was like, "Oh shit!" And then Robertson with that delightful cross into Diego Jota. Oh, what a oof.
I actually heard Jurgen Klopp speak before the game, so in like the pre-game conference, like when he reached the stadium, and the media was like, "Jamie Vardy's in red hot form. How are you going to stop him?" And his line of thinking was, Vardy is only going to score when the ball gets to him, and we're going to try and stop that, and instead of stopping Vardy. And I think whatever the fuck he had planned, he did that in the game because Jamie Vardy was absent. I mean, he's pretty much blocked out of the game, and I feel a lot of credit needs to go to Jurgen Klopp also because he doesn't really overcomplicate things. He's got really industrious midfielders, and he backs his forward line to do the job. And his forward line, I think the sort of players they sign, all of them have this weird aerial ability almost, and it's kind of freaky to be honest. And they trust their fullbacks to get the ball to their heads. So I think when it works out, and it more often than not it does, Jurgen Klopp also deserves a lot of credit for how he has handled Liverpool now. Now, because I slept off, I just want to know if Naby Keita is injured.
Yeah, he was off with an injury in the second half.
I think
But
this
then they
season.
have the Ox
The
coming back.
Ox,
So,
yeah.
but they have a favorable run of fixtures also, is what I think. So I think
Yeah, most of their tough fixtures
coinciding.
are out of the way, right? or are they facing any big team?
So they faced City already. They faced Chelsea away. That's done out. They've defeated Arsenal at home.
Arsenal, yeah.
Um, if Spurs really want to keep up, say, their title-winning challenge, then I think getting points off Liverpool will be crucial because they join top at the moment.
Hmm.
That's going to be a very tough. I mean, that's an interesting fixture, but for Spurs, it's going to be a doozy.
So
I
I
don't
think
know.
those games will tell us a little bit more about Spurs' resilience because we
I
already know
think
about Liverpool.
this Matip and Fabinho centre back partnership is really going to be tested that game, but I think Liverpool might come on top. Let's see, given how they are as a
The
team.
thing with Liverpool is that people speak a lot about their centre back and back line, but what people don't sorry realize is that the ball often gets stopped in the first two presses. Like seldom, because when Liverpool's backline is questioned, they do falter. Yesterday, Harvey Barnes also had a pretty good chance. So the backline
Yeah.
is crap, but the other players work their asses off to conceal that. And I think a lot
Yes.
of people fail to see that, and they're like, the center backs are good enough. Because I've seen Liverpool go away to Spurs and lose 4-0 under
Hmm.
Jurgen Klopp. And I've seen those games as well. And back then, they used to make horrendous mistakes. But their other players weren't really like workhorses. Like Naby Keita's only job on the field is to close down space. That is his job. And I think if that's the way they want to play, then I guess it's working for them. And a lot of people do back them to win the title again this year.
Yeah.
This season is way too untrue. It's way too. It should
But
just keep
this game
going
had
left and right.
goals.
Yeah,
Definitely. And
definitely.
this game had goals, but the other marquee fixture, you can't really call this shit marquee if there's no goals in it. The fuck am I saying? But Leeds United
Us.
took on Arsenal at home, the mighty Arsenal under Mikel Arteta, who now has
Dead. Dead game, man. Dead. Fucking
after
bollocks, man. This game was.
I think after 27 or 29 league games, he has recorded the lowest number of points compared to
Points.
Unai Emery, Arsene Wenger, both of them. And I feel like I don't know where the
Okay.
hype train is at now, but this was a
Nah, nah.
bad game.
It was
It
really
was a
bad from
bad game.
Arsenal. I
It
mean,
was.
you could see,
I mean,
against Leeds, a team which is 15th on the table, you have to attack a bit, Low block, 8 people in the box for Arsenal trying to defend Leeds United. It's absolutely poor from them. Leeds had to have come on top that game, hitting the woodwork about 6 or 7 times. They had so many good chances. They could have easily won about 6-0 or something.
when was Pepe's red card? Was it in the 80th minute? When was it?
60th minute.
60th minute.
60th minute. They should have. I think once that red card, Leeds should
Yeah,
have
when you're
just
playing in
capitalized on that.
Sten, you're supposed to score, and Leeds were
They should have capitalized on
supposed to score, man.
No, but
I
it's
mean,
good you bring up the red card there. I think we need to speak a little bit about that too, because if you get a price tag of 72 million pounds on your head, it's not to headbutt people. I mean,
yeah, that was just.
That has been his highlight in his
bad.
Arsenal career. He's been that bad.
I mean,
the thing is,
he
dude,
scored one or two bangers, but that was a big
I
banger.
mean, he's not even a one season wonder. He's a one bang wonder. That's wrong as it sounds.
That's what she said.
Oh God.
I like that one. But speaking about football again, I feel as it is, he finds it very hard to get into the team. And if he keeps doing dumb shit like this, I mean, Leeds, Arsenal was sitting ducks, a 10-man Arsenal away from home. I think they look at it as a point earned. Leeds will look at
Yeah.
it as 2 points dropped because
I'm sorry if the team views it like that. Your team is fucked, man. What?
Man, you could see Arsenal defending for their lives. It was that bad for Arsenal.
What
They
top
were-
end team looks at a match like this? Oh yes, it's a point.
At this rate, I don't think Arsenal can finish
Fuck off,
top 4
dude.
or
Fuck
top
off.
6
They
for
don't
all you
deserve
know.
top. Fam, if that's their mentality, they don't deserve to be in the Premier League, man. They can go fuck themselves. What bullshit.
dude,
That's not the mentality you should have.
no, but
Okay,
then again, Jose Mourinho has won 3 Premier Leagues in his life with this mentality. You know what he's good at? He's really good at plotting his way throughout an entire season. picking up the points he should and then getting a result away from the ones where he couldn't.
Yeah,
That's what has made him
yeah,
most
that is
successful.
different. But this is Arsenal facing Leeds, and Leeds haven't beaten Arsenal in God knows how long, man. Like, come on.
Uh, More like a sub story to this is I woke up this morning for a lot of reactions from Arsenal fans saying bring back Mesut Ozil, and I wonder what your reaction is to that. Starting with Tejas.
Anytime there is lack of creativity in Arsenal match, they'll be like, bring back Mesut Ozil, bring back Mesut Ozil. And anytime Aubameyang goes around doing everything, they'll be like, okay, Mesut Ozil can stay on the bench. It's fine. So these Arsenal fans are they're almost as delusional as Barca fans half the time. So
I mean,
no,
look, bring up Aubameyang. How bad has he been this season? What, he scored 2 goals?
he's
One in opening week
it's
and
not
one
a
penalty
question
against
of
United.
it's not a question of being bad. I don't know why Arsenal like playing him at that left mid position.
No, he was playing
Play him
strike
up.
last night.
He played down the middle.
He was playing.
But
Yeah, and
playing
you
they were
couldn't.
striker.
playing
I
it
saw him
up.
getting the ball like twice or thrice, and he couldn't do much with it.
No, but see, if Arsenal play the way they do, which is keeping everyone back and one guy up front, what are they going to accomplish with that, man?
I mean,
Like Leeds are not dumb to fall to such tactics, man. They know. I think they
Liverpool were
knew.
though on multiple times. They did lose to the
Dude,
same tactic. I think like teams have started to figure out how to man
Yes,
mark Aubameyang better. But even having
exactly. That
said
is the
that,
thing.
uh, when you say Aubameyang has been piss poor, if you look at the Chelsea game, which we'll speak about in just a bit, Timo Werner missed a couple of chances, but he had the players to keep going again and again. And I know this because this is what made Sterling pretty popular because he used to miss often, but back then City used to have a chance every 3 minutes. And if one you miss one, there's another one coming in another 3 minutes. But the thing with Aubameyang is he gets one chance a match, and that too isn't a clear cut chance. Like you can't really pinpoint to misses he has
Yeah,
had saying that he's a bad striker. The thing is he's never had any solid chances in the game.
it's a thing. This I get it now. Again, yeah, I'm going to say lack of creativity, and the Arsenal stands are going to be like, oh yes, Mesut Ozil will bring that creativity. I don't know, man.
Arteta benched his latest signing in yesterday's game. I thought that was a talking point, and not a lot of pundits picked up on that. Thomas Partey went on the bench. Mohamed El Neni was on the bench. They played Granit Xhaka and Danny Ceballos. And I think playing Ceballos was the right decision. You could see him do bits.
Hmm.
But if you're going to
Shaka, no.
play Thomas Partey on the bench, that's
Yeah.
kind of sketch.
I mean, it could have been a question of match fitness as well. I don't know. But let's see.
True.
I think that Xhaka doesn't deserve a spot on that Arsenal team, man. I think the only thing he's good at is screaming, scream, scream, foul, scream.
He was club captain till Aubameyang signed the new contract.
Yeah.
I feel like Aubameyang and Pep both have put pen to paper and now want to tear up the contract, like Alexis Sanchez at Man United.
No, I think what Arsene Wenger said on some sort of talk show, it's like it's fun. I think he's enjoying watching these Arsenal managers get cocked. So that speaks a lot about what's happening at the club.
Arsenal's back at it. But moving on from Leeds' love for the crossbar to United's love for penalties. Two sketch penalties in either box. One decides the game. United win 1-0 at home to West Brom. First home win, I think, in 4 games or something like that. They would correct me on that.
First home game, first win at home this season.
That is shocking. Your first win at home. That's pretty.
I mean, again, United versus low blocks. We could not penetrate it. Don't know what can help because
your Anthony
his team's
Martial, man, that
Ole's team selection was a bit dodgy, and it always has been. Starting Matic and Fred against West Brom, and Marta as well. I thought he was going to start Dan James, and he would start Van de Beek and Fred. But
Papa wasn't anywhere near.
Pogba wasn't in the team. He picked up a knock. I don't know how true is that, but
Mino
Ole has
Raiola
to be
gave him
given
the
a
knock.
bit of stick for his team selection. I think he had to start Donny that game week.
Yeah, dude, it's West Brom, man. I think if you had Van de Beek in that midfield, you definitely would have scored more than just penalties.
Yeah, and
Without a doubt.
To
yeah, we
think
should
that
have scored.
he's going to start Van de Beek is as childish as it gets. I mean, anybody on the street will tell you Van de Beek is not going to start at this moment in time. But I think another issue with United is that I see it time and again, and there's days when a lot of people chip in. Certainly have been last year. I recall to Norwich away and stuff like that. But this season in particular, you think back to all the times when they have picked up points. Brighton at home, winning 3-2. That is Bruno Fernandes in the end after the game gets over penalty. Everton away, I think it was.
Bruno
Bruno Fernandes with a
scoring.
header. Bruno Fernandes with
Fernandes.
some sort of a shot which goes in. Bruno Fernandes against West Brom Albion. Bruno Fernandes comes up with a penalty. And I feel like top games make top players, but if one player has to win you a game every time, then you'll end up like Barcelona now. Because
Fair point.
I
Absolutely
feel
fair
like
point.
United, dude, the way they're built, I feel like I mean, if you can praise Mikel Arteta for playing two centre backs and getting the results, I don't think you should treat Ole Gunnar Solskjaer differently.
Solskjaer.
So Solskjaer, if you think back to the times or the good runs which he's had those forwards performing. And I feel like we've come to a point where Edison Cavani is being left out of the game because of United's lack of proper width.
Yeah, you could see him dropping back when he was subbed on. You could see Cavani dropping back just to get the ball because no one was able to provide the ball to him. Rashford and Martial on the wing was, I don't know what were they doing because they were really bad. They couldn't keep hold of the ball, kept on losing the ball. United need a proper winger and a striker. I think Martial is, I think
No,
is
Rashford
he has
is.
to
I think
develop
Rashford.
more. He has to become a good player.
Rashford can be cut some slack because he's been playing. He's playing well. He's playing maybe not that
Yeah,
game.
but Martial can't be
he-
cut some slack. He had to play
Martial,
about
please,
4
no,
hours and
man,
50
that
minutes
guy
to
is
find a shot
fuck.
on target.
That
And
guy
that
is
also he
just
should have scored. It was an easy chance.
Dude, I don't know what is either his boots are garbage or his balance is after trash, man.
His
One
balance has
slight
always
knock
been pretty shit.
is one slight knock and he falls to the ground. Get the fuck up, man.
No,
Come
I
on,
think that's
dude.
the instruction from the United bench. That's what they do on their iPad.
No, it's okay. No, if it's in the penalty box, fine, no problem. Anytime some form of contact with the defender, he just falls. Like,
And
And he's a
I
very lazy
understand.
player,
They're trying. Yeah, his work
With
rate
United's
should
press, you can see these people running in, but Martial's just jogging, acting like, he's trying to do something, but he's just a lazy fuck.
Nah, man, dude, you're the striker. You need to draw the defenders out. If you're not going to score, at least be tactically present during the game.
Manchester United, after 1,860 days, are finally ahead of Manchester City on the points table. 1,860 days.
Dude, this Premier League is just wild, man. Man City were up here
What's next
and
on
then
the horizon? What's next on the horizon for Man United?
We have got an easy run of fixtures. I mean, City is one of them, but like the rest of the fixtures are looking good. So,
Nah, but the month of December is a testing month for the top 6
yeah,
teams.
it's for all teams especially because they're going to face they're going to have a lot of matches in December.
A lot of fixtures.
Injuries,
so
match
that
fatigue.
is what I'm
I want to
worried
see what
for
happens in
teams
December.
like. No, I'm worried for teams like Spurs, City, which don't have the greatest
You
track
shouldn't
record of
be though.
injuries.
I mean, I understand the injuries part of it, but Spurs have spent a shit ton of money, and they have a big enough squad. And I genuinely see no reason why people should cut Spurs slack if they don't challenge for the title. I mean, they are at this moment in time. I'm saying,
No,
I think we
they
need
don't.
to stop normalizing certain teams not challenging for the titles every year.
Spurs
When they
have to
haven't
do
even
that.
challenged. If say a team would have won, say like Liverpool, I mean, if Liverpool win it this year, that is some good continuity because it's harder to retain it than it is to win it. But teams like Spurs who have only been putting pressure, finish eighth, finish in the Europa League spot, do some fourth spot Champions League run, do bits here and there. And after this sort of spend, you should be expecting them to challenge for the title. That's my opinion.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they should be challenging for the title. I mean, they have a backup striker, they have backup centre backs, they have backup for midfield as well. With Mourinho spend in the summer,
True.
they have the depth, and they should be challenging for the title. I mean, who they play
And
Chelsea
I feel
next,
like they
right?
have Mourinho also. And Mourinho wins a lot of titles in his second year. So he did that
Yeah,
at Real Madrid, he did that at Inter Milan.
they're at
He
United.
couldn't do that at Manchester United because
He did,
that
right?
year the City team
he
was
did.
no, that year
He
the
did.
Europa
City
He
team
League.
was
did.
something different. No, the league. He's been
Oh,
winning
the
leagues in his
league.
second year.
Leagues,
No,
you
he
mean?
always finishes first or second, but he wins a trophy always in a second year.
He's won a lot of leagues in the second year, though, like running. He did it at
Yeah,
Chelsea too when he first came. But I think Mourinho is also a big factor for what Spurs do this season because
yeah,
that man has three titles. That's a lot of titles for one manager in the Prem. But moving on to a team which did not have as much luck with penalties, Chelsea winning 2-0 at St. James's Park, that is against Newcastle. One own goal and one Tammy Abraham's goal. So I think I've seen both the goals, saw the game. And my take on Chelsea is that it's a team which seems to be gelling together really well now. Timo Werner at times displays severe impotence, such as the likes of Man City strikers in front of goal. But there are
Yeah.
times when he gets his goals also because they do have a lot of chances. But I think the real takeaway from from Chelsea's performance has to be the defensive performance. That's a shit ton of clean sheets now,
yeah.
Yeah.
and
Wait,
I think they know their preferred back four, and I think that always helps in any tournament. So they
Yeah.
play
It does.
Reece
It does. Of
James, Ben
course.
Chilwell, Kurt Zuma,
and
Edward
Thiago
Mendy,
Silva.
and Thiago Silva. That,
Thiago
and I
Silva.
feel like that consistency is helping them.
I
No,
mean,
without
Kurt
a doubt,
Zuma has been
because
really good. You can see his defensive output. It's been brilliant, and even in corners, you can see him rising above everyone else and winning the header.
yeah, any team, if you're solid back, if your defense line is solid, that just takes a huge load off you. Like, because I think the past season it was that that defensive incompetence which was bearing them down so badly that it was just affecting the whole team. Like, you may
Yeah,
have the world's greatest attack, you may have a stunning midfield, but if your defense is utter garbage, your team is not going to do anything because the minute your midfielders lose the ball, finish, and your defense can't cope up with that, you're done. It's nothing.
one
Outscoring is not
question
going to win anything.
I want to ask you
Yeah.
guys: do you think Tammy Abraham should become a regular starter for Chelsea?
Mm, that is
The thing is,
interesting
he is a
question.
regular starter for Chelsea if you look at the way they play now.
But he's
Because
only a regular starter right now because of Havertz's injury. I mean,
Havertz
or
injury,
does he have
yeah.
COVID?
the thing is, this I think very early on, the first 2 3 games after Lampard got his new toys, he figured out that Timo Werner as a target man is as bad as it gets. This guy is scared of Lewis Dunk on the opening day of the season. He's calling defenders big and scary. This shit won't work out. But what he is really good at doing is creating a little bit of space through movement. And in order to do that, you need some defenders to occupy one target man in the box. Because if everybody, it's something like what happens with City nowadays. If there's no target man in the box, you cannot create space for other players.
Yeah,
And I think Tammy Abraham solves the problem, and Olivier Giroud could also solve the problem. I don't know why he doesn't get picked, but I think Tammy Abraham has. I think he's gonna find a starting spot in this Chelsea squad. And out of like the first year when Frank had all these academy youngsters to explore their game and stuff, I think a few have really cemented their place. So Reece James at right back, Tammy Abraham, Mason Mount for sure, and maybe not cemented, but Callum Hudson-Odoi is also within a shout.
yeah. The academy has done bits for them, but once Kai Havertz comes back with Hakim Ziyech, Timo Werner, Mason Mount, Conte, Jorginho,
Christian Pulisic.
Kovacic, Christian Pulisic. How are you going to fit all of them in one team?
No, I don't think you need to fit all of them because that's the beauty of a big squad. I mean, I feel like depending on performances, I think Ziyech is starting to establish a bigger role in that right midfield.
Yeah.
Oh,
And I feel like at this moment in time, N'Golo Conte is helping them big time because without that guy, they leave themselves very vulnerable at the back because of all these forward players. And I saw that Newcastle game. There's multiple times when, I mean, people don't really see Conte because the camera is never on him. But Conte does a lot of cleaning up in that midfield for them. I think without them, this team is pretty shit.
Yeah.
That was Chelsea, and we got one more game to cover for this weekend at least, and that is a pretty exciting game in my opinion. At Craven Cottage, Everton winning 3-2 against Fulham.
And Calvert
Dominic
Lewis,
Calvert-Lewin with two
yeah,
goals. Yeah,
scoring in
he's
42 seconds.
buck again.
Yeah.
I think that dude who skied two shots against United, Abu this was Dokure.
Abdullah Dokore.
Man with his debut, I mean not a debut, but his first
First
goal.
goal.
First goal. First goal.
Um, the thing is, the camera angle at Craven Cottage is so shit. It's hard to see the game because there isn't enough width. So the whole game is broadcasted like this, and you get to see like an aerial view. And what I could really see was that James Rodriguez is slow as shit.
Oh, good morning.
Yeah.
Uh,
That dude has never been fast. He's always
Alex Iwobi was really good for Everton.
he played wing back.
Yeah. I think the second goal he provided was a beautiful dribbling from him.
Yeah, was. I saw Fulham score their first goal and they carved through that Everton defense. Like carved through. Two, three
Yeah.
passes and they were in behind. Scored a goal, pretty well deserved too. And I feel like this goes back to what I said a month ago on the podcast that it's always Everton's attack bailing them out of their
Hmm.
shit defensive
their,
errors.
Yeah.
their defense is. I mean, Luca Digne is probably their only good proper defender because he's
He two assists.
regularly.
Yeah.
Yeah, he.
Again,
he's
left backs have been
regular-
amazing this season
Yeah.
in
Left
most
back.
teams.
It's a
Yeah,
good
actually, we
point.
didn't talk about Telles started for United, right? That game.
Yeah, he had a good game.
He had a decent game.
Defensively
He,
had
he
good
gave a
output.
little bit of weight, is what I saw.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I like seeing him play more than Luke Shaw. No offense to Luke Shaw, but
Luke Shaw has been better than him this season.
I mean, Telles hasn't played enough with the team. He still needs to
Yeah.
play a bit more.
No,
Once he
the thing
gels
with-
in more with the team, he'll be.
The thing with
Will look-
Alex Telles is that if Alex Telles wants to play in an advanced position, if Ole wants him to play in an advanced position, then it makes sense. Then you could justify playing two CDMs because that is essentially what Liverpool do. And if those it justifies because if you play Aaron Van Bissaka and two CDMs, that doesn't justify it because
Yeah.
that dude isn't getting forward. So if Telles is giving width on the left hand side, then fair play. And United will keep hoping for Sancho to give that width on the right hand side.
Oh, hopefully.
Hope's a dangerous thing in football, but uh, there's one thing which I do want to bring out from that Everton game, and that is the fact that Jordan Pickford is a shit keeper. Shit is very
England's
shit.
number one.
I have a feeling he wouldn't find a spot in Mumbai City FC, and I mean it. I mean it. I'm not joking. Because that I feel like there's lapses of concentration. Early on in the first half, there was this ball, and he kicks it 90 degrees off the ground, and it comes right back into the box. And then I think Michael Keane or somebody like that, one of them white defenders from Everton, sorry to be racist, had to clear that shit away and gave a foul away in the process. So I feel like Jordan Pickford is he's a very Kepa-like keeper, but because he's English, he keeps getting saved over and over again.
He's like Adrian, but he can do a little bit more with the ball.
Yeah, he makes crucial saves, but at the same time makes terrible mistakes. It's just
But the thing with Adrian is that when Liverpool's backup keepers make errors, it's in a high-profile game. It always is.
Yeah.
yeah,
It's not against Fulham on a Saturday afternoon.
no. In that case, it's probably just a confidence levels just drop, I guess. Because
Every week. He hasn't been good. He's just been smacking
this
defenders.
Pickford, yeah, and,
Maguire,
I mean he's
Van
getting
Dijk.
away with it. He's getting away with it.
Yeah.
He did
mean,
injure Van Dijk though.
Yeah, I think that's why most people still like him.
It's not resulting in any subsequent drop of points, so he can
Yeah,
keep
exactly.
slating him.
So,
I think those were probably all the games this weekend. Glad football is back because I have a whole year just to do this, and I feel like I enjoyed the football back again this weekend. And
Sabah
Champions
is
League is also back here.
yeah,
Yeah, this
and
week
this month is going to be
United
very hectic.
face Istanbul at Old Trafford.
Istanbul, Berkshire Hathaway.
We have Dynamo Kiev. And
I don't know whom we're playing.
Barca is very ropey at the moment. They're one PK out, Sergio Roberto out.
All of you guys
Frustrating.
listening, I mean, even to you guys, I think we need to discuss the La Liga in depth this week on our European episode, because I'm looking at that table and it's popping up some really weird names. These are the kind of teams we used to make fun of, saying that La Liga isn't competitive. And you see Real Sociedad and Atletico Madrid with 2 games lesser and 3 within reach.
I mean, it's Riyad Sociedad with David Silva. Man,
yeah, but I mean,
he's playing damn well. Also, he's playing pretty well.
I mean, he left us when we're 13th, so I don't know how to feel about that. I mean, I think David Silva was the difference between us turning into a mid-table Barcelona, because now Barcelona in our spot, same to same.
Yeah.
But there's Unai Emery's Villarreal, there's Zinedine Zidane's 3-time Champions League winning Real Madrid. So we'll cover all of that good stuff on a European episode. And I feel like this episode's been pretty great. And we hope to see you guys soon in like 3 days' time.
Thank
And
you, guys.
also, we are looking to diversify our guests. So please hit us up if you're interested. More announcements
definitely.
regarding that.
You could we'll drop our Instagram handle also in the bio, I think. Dave, can we do that?
Yeah, it's always there in the
we
bio.
can.
Check out our Instagram. Please like, share, and subscribe. Thank you guys for watching.
Alright, guys.
Peace out.
Bye.